You think she's a toughie. It's all a facade. She's a coward that's faking control. If she stays on that path with her rage and resentment, she's gonna lose anything that's left of her soul. She's unhappy. Her life's crappy. She feels dumped and all alone. She's wound up with barbed wire, a temper on fire, full up and about to explode. And she's cruising for a bruising with the choices that she's choosing. She's a bully who's been bullied. She's a bully who's been bullied. She's a bully who's been bullied. So, feel sorry for her. Oh, it's sad, so sad. She's a bully who's been bullied. It's so sad. Thank you, Chandra. Woo! The girls. Let's invite my diva sisters out. Come on, girls. Yes, we had a ball.
Baby, 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 you gotta learn to watch your mouth, 'cause words matter. Ooh, ooh, words matter. You better know they do. What you say and how you say it, it's gonna follow you. Ooh, ooh, words matter. Yes, you better think before you say it and how you say it. You better learn to watch your mouth. Ha! Darling, darling, you better stop tight, 'cause you're putting your foot in your mouth. Why you gotta be sarcastic, I mean, tell what it's all about. Are you a serious, oblivious of the impact of what you say it? You make your kid feel real very sad, you ruin the perfect day. Ooh, ooh, words matter. You better know to do what you say and how you say it. It's gonna follow you. Ooh, ooh, words matter. Yeah, sure, you better think before you say it and how you say it. You better learn to watch your mouth. Ha! Sweet twist, stop being so cheeky, you're genius. Ha! So what? You always spew wind, a sneer, little daddy, come on, let's be straight up. You're fitting your arrogance with your intelligence, it goes off the chart. If putting yourself in this heart with your daggers in the heart. Ooh, ooh, words matter. You better know they do what you say and how you say it. It's gonna follow you. Ooh, ooh, words matter. Yeah, sure, you better think before you say it and how you say it. You better learn to watch your mouth. Ha, come on a minute, you always are winning everybody just to make her feel strong. You insecure in your no way, but you never gonna show it. But Brody, my boy, it's all wrong.
Come on.
Your reputation is precarious, nefarious, contrarious. Bats off your dish and I will ascend. You better get it together or you'll reek some cold weather when the day comes you're needing a friend.
Yeah, you keep up the type protesting. What you're doing is investing, because what you put out will come back. It's going to hurt you, haunt you, hurry. It'll whirl you to disaster to an ungiven world of flat.
Well,
come on, listen to what I'm saying. Get your attitude on display. And you win, you start to be a mensch. Be mindful, kindful, helpful, delightful, show respect, treat others decent. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
to be a loner, keeping my voice silent. But I'm so different. How would I fit in times that are so violent? Darting round the corners, keeping my eyes open, my mouth shut, longing for a time when I'll finally take the risk. You think I'm like this, but I'm not like this. At home I'm quite the talker. I have opinions, and I have feelings, but then you'll never see that. And you'll never see my parents attending any of our school events because they're scared and won't dare to take the risk. I dream of singing and laughing way too loud, having fun with friends and cheering in the crowd. But then I realize again, I'm different, and I just can't take the risk. It isn't easy. You don't go through this. For me, it's one big struggle. My family worries. They tell me stories, the kind that keep me up at night. It keeps me really focused. My head down, my grades up, I'm out of sight. Till one day, that blessed day, and I look forward to the day I'll take the risk. The risk. Thank you so much.
Ajna Masters, everyone.
Okay.
Ajna Masters, everyone. That was brilliant. Brilliant. And you can stay right out here. You can.
Okay.
We're going to stay right out here. We're going to add some people for this conversation. Please help me welcome producer and writer of the film, Miss Deb Ross. And producer and music composer of this film, Miss Chandra Jefferson. And our director of the film, Miss Amy Waddell.
Is Sarah here? Sarah's here.
And one of the other stars of the film, Sarah Orb. And of course, while Sarah's making her way to the stage, we want to welcome back those divas, don't you think so? Lorinda, Yakumi, and Susie, come on out. Susan and Jeff are right there. Susie and Jeff. Give a nice round of applause. Susie and Jeff Dunn, our sponsors. He's got, I think, 3 mics you're going to all share. I know they're going to want to ask questions, so I'm going to fire the first one, and I'm going to go down to them. So whichever one or both of you want to handle this, take us back. I know this has been many, many years in the making. Take us back to where this idea germinated from. Where did the seed start? When was that, and how long did it take you to get to this point?
It took us 6 years. 6 long years. So the genesis of this is that I do Artists in the Classroom. Thank you, Nancy Latanzi, who does that in Sedona. And I was in a 4th grade class, and they had a shooting drill. And everyone was under their desks, and there were kids crying, some laughing, some calling for their moms. And I'm under the desk with them, and I'm going, oh, my God. This isn't a stop, drop, and roll or an earthquake or a nuclear attack like when I was in the 50s, but this is a shooting drill for a kid that could be on campus. And I thought that maybe there was. And I'm watching these kids, and I'm thinking, this isn't right. Fast forward, I'm in Red Rock High, and there's another shooting drill, but this time instead of hiding under desks, there's kids that know immediately to man the windows and close the curtains. There's kids that immediately go and bar the doors. There's kids that go and hide, and others who will fight to protect them. And they're showing, we're doing things like this. This is how you dismantle a gun, and then this is what you do to throw in something in their way. And I'm thinking, this is crazy. We got to do something. I don't want to argue about guns or no guns. What I want to do is stop the violence before it happens. Boy, I'm on my soapbox. So I don't want to get political. I just want to get real. And so I go to Chandra, who is the best songwriter in the world.
And she says to me this whole thing, and I said, funny, I was just coaching over at Mingus Union Public High School, and we had one of those. And yes, and by the way, Laser and Sarah and Ajna are from Mingus Union Public High School. Give them a big round of applause. So anyway, I had just gone through this, and James, I hate to admit this, but I was in the dressing room, and it was like I had already been warned, turn off the lights, close the door, lock the door, stand in the bathroom, whatever. I peeked out the door, and it was dead silence. And I was like, holy crap. If there was a shooter, we'd be hearing gunshots. Then you had this film, and I forget the name of it. It was so powerful. It was about that. And I knew I had to write songs. Writing songs for Dev Scripts is like pure joy for me. This is the 5th of 6 musicals that I've written with her. I've written so many songs for our shows. So it was so much fun, and it was intense.
Songs for Dead Quilters, too, if you saw Dead Quilters. Yeah.
Thank you. And we have an animated movie that we're just about to work on right now. So, Amy, do you want to say something?
I'm busy listening.
Keep the process going. This is good.
So, Dev began. Chandra wrote the songs, and then I had moved back to Sedona, and I sat down with Dev. We started talking because we both had been writing some animation, and we had a really fun first coffee. And she told me about the project and said, you should direct it. And this was a few years ago. And I said, sure. I mean, at that point, they didn't have the funding yet. You were still working on the script, I believe.
I'm selling blood because we needed to get some startup money. Yeah.
Right. So I jumped in with their fundraising process, which was very fun. We would go around to various wonderful venues, and you guys would come and sing or do a little bit of the piece for donors, and that process went on for a little while. And then we just realized it was time to just go. We had some of what we had tried to raise. Thank you, everyone, for actually making that happen. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then we started to get crew together. Mike, our DP, and
who's in the audience right now?
Right there.
Mike, stand up.
Very sharp.
Margaret, stand up. Without Margaret Knight, stand up. Oh, Margaret Weaver, too. We love you.
Yes,
but
Margaret.
She literally, I said, I do not know how to produce a movie. I can write movie. I'm so creative, but I don't know how to do, like, the logistics. And she said, take my hand. And I did everything she said, and here we are.
And I have to say, Mike, on the set, his name is Ches, because there are
Ches, where are you?
too many mics. And if someone says, "Where's the mic?" and then everybody turns, and so he has a different name. But anyway, we pulled it all together and had a wonderful cast. Other cast members are in the audience as well. Everybody in the cast stand up. Who's out there?
Everyone in the cast.
Few
James
already.
Ball, Jeff Masters, Teresa Hawkins, our choreographer, Danielle Dodd-Stewart.
Choreographer, yes. And James, who's standing up here, is the one who runs the amazing theater program at Mingus and, plus Laser. And even though he seemed very mean in the film, he's like a sweetie pie. So anyway, so that's kind of basically the story.
Can I just say, all of you that were donors for this movie, could you just maybe stand up or put your hands up? Because no, seriously, you guys did it. You helped us make this movie. Give them a big round of applause. Yeah, just hands up. So many of you. We couldn't have done it without you. Oh, I know.
And then I want to talk to you about the casting, but you see we're missing a very important piece of the three main cast members, but that's for a very, very good reason. Laser is starring in his college production of Midsummer Night's Dream, right? This weekend, right at college. So he couldn't be here. So I'd love to talk to the two young ladies and tell us how this process was auditioning. How'd you get the role? What kind of pressure was this on you as students currently doing this, knowing it's going to be seen by your peers as well? What kind of pressure does that put on you?
Oh, I was so scared. I was so terrified. Getting cast was a funny story, actually. My sophomore year of high school, I began to be coached by Chandra, and we were working on pieces to kind of lengthen my range. And I was like, well, maybe we were running through monologues. I did comedic pieces, a bunch of things like that. She goes, here, read this. And the scene, that kind of monologue-ish bit, the rant, used to be like 4 pages long.
It was about.
It was thick. It was long. It was shortened for the movie, but I ended up doing that. And then, how long? The mic. I need her to play off of me.
So it was about 3.5 pages. I wrote this thing, and I just threw it at her because I wanted to know what she would do with it. And she cried while she was doing this. And I sat there trying to be very
You did sit there and you went,
And then after she left, I called Dev immediately and I said, we have our cat. We have her. She's so great. And you were like, what were you, 14?
15.
15? Yeah. I was so impressed because when I wrote it, I knew it had to be somebody who could really get it or would feel it. And it was pretty long then. We took a third out.
And Ajna, how about you? Musical mics.
So my freshman year, I started going to Chandra for vocal lessons, and we were really working on my acting skills, given I hadn't acted very much. And she had me read for Amina, and I remember after I was done reading some of her lines, I was like, do you have a camera in my house? Because I feel exactly like this character. She's very shy, she's very closed off, scared of making herself big and known, and I've suffered the challenge of that a lot, and I still do. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely scary, thinking that people my age were going to see it, not knowing how they're going to react or if they're going to like it, but through the process, I think this show is going to really, really touch a lot of people in an amazing way.
All right, raise your hands and I will come to you at the microphone if you got a question or comment. But while I find those people, we gotta find out how you cast the amazing divas behind you. So take us through that process.
Could I speak?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go.
I'm sorry. I have known Dev since the 90s. And, it's like another century. Ann Greer, I think. Ann Greer, could you wave your hand? It was a theater company, originally 12th Night, but then it turned into Educational Theater Company. And we would do this. We would go to schools, interview the kids, talk to them about what problems they were having. And at that time, there was an impact program that funded it. So after we developed the show, we would present it to the kids. Scary. They would give us the feedback, and then we would tour it, and we would tour the shows. And afterwards, there would be a place where kids could go, an impact meeting, to talk about these issues that they were dealing with. So anyway, Dev reached out to me, and then Chandra, we saw a video of these presentations, and I was like, oh, interesting. And then when they were ready to go, I got the call from Dev, and I'm like, yeah.
I have to tell you, I've never been so nervous in my life. I'm telling you what. I couldn't find, I went the wrong way. I swear to God. No, I know, that's kind of Susie. But anyway, I have never done anything like this before in my life. And when Chandra said, hey, Suze, would you do this? And I listened to the song, and Chandra's writing is just off the hook. It's unbelievable. And it's like, oh, this is great stuff. God, I want you to do this song. And I said, I'll help you out any way I can. Any way I can, let me help. And it was we did little skits, and we did them around town to raise money. And it was just heartwarming. I loved the reaction from kids, the talent of these young ones. Yeah.
I think my story is kind of interesting because Lorinda, she's our church choir member, and she kind of knew I'm interested about acting, and I'm always being a singer. And she introduced me to Chandra, and then she said, oh, can I have an audition? And I was like, yes. And then we just talked, and then she just checked my Instagram that I sung Olaf, I Love Disney. So I just covered the songs from the Frozen, and then she really loving it. And, yes, so one of my friends, she's in Arizona, and then I kind of, Sedona is my city kind of thing. So I was like, oh, yes, I just want to go to Sedona, yes. And then, eventually I just, you guys found me, and I'm so grateful to be in this team. Yes, thank you so much.
This is awesome. So I have to just say, it's true. I saw her Instagram, and she's singing the big, Frozen song. And I'm sitting there going, huh? And again, I called Dev. A lot of calling. I called Dev and said, oh, my gosh, we have to hire her immediately.
And she had never acted before.
And Susie hadn't either. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Larry Rosenberg. I love the film. And my question is, an anonymous foundation has just given you $3 million to make this is a hypothetical, folks, you got to dream, though. You got to imagine. So they've given you a grant for $3 million. What do you do to get this film out there?
So I'll take this one. I'll take that $3 million. So we've talked quite a bit about this because we did this for a song, and we did it at the charter school in one room, and luckily we had Mike shooting it and a really wonderful team working on it, and magic here. But if we had the ability to really fully go for it, what we've talked about is probably a series that would be, let's say it's on Apple TV or Netflix, but let's just say that. But the idea would be that likely, and this is Dev's really, but the idea that we've talked about is that each week there would probably be 3 new kids that have 3 new problems. and it would probably escalate. We'd use the real issues that we've seen in the schools, and we'd open it out. We could have more characters, we could have more scenarios, we could have more locations to make it really a really entertaining series with wonderful music and humor, and also those really intense issues that the kids were dealing with. And that was something with this that I thought these two did so incredibly well, was that they took us down to the bottom of abuse, and then they took us up to the top with these fanciful songs and play, so they mixed the misery and the play like real life, and that was kind of stunning. So I think the series would kind of go in that vein. It would be developed quite a bit more. So you asked how, having lived in Hollywood for a really long time, the how of it is, well, if you have the money, that's like 80% of the how, and the talent is the other 80%. And then you have you start pitching it to the various places. You find who your champion is going to be. You hire the best people possible, and you go. And it unfolds and unfolds and unfolds and only gets richer and better, in my experience.
Yeah, we've been reached out by 3 distribution companies have reached out to us, which is unbelievable. Because this isn't your normal show. It's just not a normal show. But nothing is normal these days. And so we fit right in. And it's really up to us to create something different. So many shows for youth are always so depressing. And okay, so we dealt into what is depressing in their lives, but also there is ways to actively change that. So that's what we will want to do. And so, like I said, when 3 have reached out to us already, we're just sort of agog. And really what we want to do and what we promised to do to our investors is our donors, is to make it free. Any school that wants it, any community. We're already we've invited down to Tucson. Somebody's going to sponsor us, so they're going to show it to a big audience of kids there. We're just going to start the ball rolling and see what happens. Even the distributors who we've just had some conversation with go, God, we really like this. How are we going to do it? But Hollywood is changing. The entertainment world is changing. And this is totally homegrown. This is homegrown. And there's so much that this Sedona, this city of magic and creativity and art, let's start something.
Yeah. And yes, it's now 3 degrees, not 6 degrees, right? So if you know somebody who knows somebody, maybe who knows somebody, or maybe you just know somebody who has a contact to Apple TV, or perhaps to Netflix, or anybody that's doing their own shows. We just had a distributor say, this needs to be on Apple TV. So it happens to others. It can happen to this particular show and get it out to kids all around the world.
One other thing that I wanted to share is that on Tuesday, we showed it to Red Rock, this school, to the middle schoolers, Sedona Charter School, which is a Montessori, Waldorf school, Running River. And we had a lot of kids, and we were probably even more nervous than today, because that's our demographic, right? We haven't tried yet with the high schoolers, but for sure the middle schoolers. So they watched. They asked so many questions. Like, we had to Patrick had to herd them out at the end, because there were so many hands, and we have pictures of it. All these hands. And then afterwards, we passed out a little questionnaire. And I would say, I've read through them all, we all have, about 85, 90%. There were a couple yeah, whatever, but, because they're kids. But 85%, 90% said, I've been bullied. I was a bully, and then I had to learn how to say I was sorry. I'm shy, and I really relate to this character. Laser is hot. Amina is a baddie. So, all those comments too. But what I'm saying is that they related to the film. They asked if it was going to be streamable. They asked if they could get the songs from Chandra, and actually you can.
Yes, it's going to be on Spotify any moment, and Apple Music, and everywhere, all the streaming channels. We went, and the arranger, this man that did the arrangement of my songs is Chris Ising. He's from Canada. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And the two of us, for the last, 3 weeks, we've been talking to CD Baby, and it's like, we got to get this happening before the 24th. The kids are coming, and then every night there's like an email coming like, well, you didn't put your description in properly, or whatever. He does this. This is what he does, And so we've even last night. So it's going to be out there. The album also has an extra song that Sarah sang. And it's a great song. She has a wonderful voice. It's called Talk to Me. And Chris and I wrote that together. And it's really fun.
Yes, more of a comment. Of all the years of the film festival, this is the best production that I've ever experienced. And you guys will make this national. It will work. From my lips to God's ears.
So, I really want to do the movie on my school.
Where are you, little? She's right there.
It's at Matt and Shadow's Coyote School.
Did you like the movie that much?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, everybody did great.
Can I ask you a question? What did you like about it?
Because I liked it how Ajna sings the song.
Thank you. This is Linda Goldenstein. I just wanted to say you guys hit a home run all the way. I'm blown away, close to tears, and every single scene was amazing. Some we all broke into applause. I think everybody will agree with this. And some we were speechless and couldn't. So you hit a home run all the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
You said you'd like to get it out to all the schools. Do you have a presentation? I live a long way from here, but if I brought it to a public school or I found a way of getting in, do you have a presentation? Do you have a video? Do you have brochures? What do you have?
So what we have so far, Zach, will you stand up, Zach, wherever you, Zach? We have Zach. No, I'm kidding. No, Zach, he cut a brilliant behind the scenes, and that is about 6 or 7 minutes, 7 minutes. It's very good, and that's what we showed the distribution people that were interested first, and then they watched the film. But it got them interested enough to want to watch the film. So I think for now it's serving as our trailer, but perhaps we can get Zach to cut a trailer also. And then as far as putting together presentation materials, there have been many, like tons of presentation materials, and we're pulling together, a very specific, now that we're done, presentation packet.
That's my cousin Jan and her husband Chet, who came all the way from Texas, drove 9 hours to be here today.
So I have a question. Susie, hi. I love you so much. Amy, I owe you a phone call. I didn't call you back. I'm so sorry. 5 days, been busy. But ladies, I'm so impressed by the film. I love it so much. It really did touch me, like Linda said. I want to talk a little bit about your process, because knowing you, as long as I've known you, you guys could finish each other's sentences, right? So when you say you love writing music for Deb's scripts,
At what point in the process do you get together? Is it a synopsis? Do you just have some scribble on a paper?
Well, first of all, one of the things I learned right away about Chandra is she's so hot to trot. So like on Dead Quilters, when I was first writing the play, the Dead Quilter Society, which I think some of you, that was my latest thing. Yeah. I gave her a piece of script and I said, this is what I'm working on. And she went ahead and wrote a song. And then I went, I don't like it. It doesn't, I'm changing. I mean, writing is rewriting, and I must have rewritten this movie 100 times because it went from a full feature down to 40 minutes. And, because we wanted to fit it in a classroom. And also we didn't have very much money. If truth be told. So, what I learned is that she's so hot to trot, and she's brilliant. She just sleeps on it, and then the next day comes up with a song. I mean, she always captures innately what I want to say and furthers it emotionally. But writing is rewriting, and poor thing, she had to learn the hard way not to write the songs too soon because in this movie I had giant puppets. I love bread and butter puppet theater, and I had giant puppets at one time. And there was the puppet song. So what we've learned, and I really chew on the script first. We've had the kids came in and read. Susie Dunn was there at the first table read. Remember Susie? And Carolyn Fisher, exactly. And I get feedback, and I rewrite, and I rewrite, and I rewrite. And only when now, so she doesn't kill me, only when I really feel solid about the script, I will give it to her, and then I'll say, I kind of feel a song here. What do you think? And then, we go through it, and then she always says, what is the through line? What is what impact do you want? And I tell her, and then she just comes up with poetry about it. She's a nag. I just want you to know, she's such a nag. I mean, well, take me out for a drink. I'll tell you all about it. But this is one pushy broad, but I love her to death. And because she gets these, and we do fight sometimes. We have arguments about artistic stuff, but I've written with so many other people. I've been around a long time. I worked at Disney. I worked at Universal Studios. I worked at Amazon Studios. I've worked at Nickelodeon. I've worked with a lot of songwriters. She is the best because she is the best. Now, don't call me at 2 a.m. anymore. And again, it's because we both want to use entertainment to say something really real, really needed. And she does it in spades. And that's our process. But again, and you heard the beginning, the genesis of this was there's these school shooting things. And we can't talk about guns in this country, so let's talk about what we can do. War meet peace. Stop the violence before it happens. How does that work? We interviewed so many kids, and we looked at so many statistics, and I just want to say this, is that, 79% of kids say they're depressed. 49% of teenage females feel suicidal at times. A large percentage, and I don't have it in front of me, feel that they don't really have a good friend. And when it comes to expressing their feelings, they don't know what words to use. So I thought, what better way to start with young people and just help them begin to find the words and to find a way to begin to communicate more effectively. So I know it sounds again like I'm on my soapbox, but man, I really believe this. And it was the same with Dead Quilters. We have 5 dead women up on stage with a lot to say. And we kind of really worked together on eventually what they said. And it was their unfinished business, things in life that they never achieved, that they want so much to still. And the common thread that connected, one of her best songs is On Common Ground, because our country right now is so torn up with our different opinions. And these 5 dead women who are very, very different come together to find common ground. And she came to the show, she wrote this song that is just, it's just so powerful, so simple about finding the common ground of our humanity. So, long story short, I probably just talk more than she does, right? Yeah. Yes.
A question and a comment. First, I am so proud of all of you guys. I'm so proud of you too, but so Susie. I mean, you children, who I know you're not children anymore. You're like young women, but still, so proud of you. So proud of the women behind you. So proud of you guys. Just so proud to be from Sedona, right? My granddaughter is now 12 years old. She's going to be 13, and I would love for her to see this Monday. I mean, when I go back to Vegas, and I'm definitely involved in her school. How can I get it this week, or can I get it this week? Can we get it that fast?
We have a stereo version that is something we can literally email or put it through Dropbox, so it would be screenable. So yes, it is possible. We're just beginning, so our little workflow we haven't worked out completely, but absolutely, that's what we want. We had Sharon, the actress that was here, Lawrence, the wonderful woman, wants to take it to North Carolina. She has a theater company there and she wants to show it to kids. So, we're hearing from different people right away that want to show it to some kids, which is exactly what Dev, had originally intended, obviously, yeah.
We'll make the link available to you. That is our mission, is to get this into every school that wants it. We're just giving it away. The streaming will come, and that's what we're working on with the distribution as well. But if you want a link, contact us. Go to highschooldetentionthemusical.com and send us something. And if you want to become part of our email list, you can do that there too. And if you want to become a donor, you can do it there as well.
We have time for one more question, then all of them are going to be out in the lobby, so you can chat some more with them. So you got the last one.
I would just like to say, having run a school library for disabled kids, that this belongs in every school, because a great deal of bullying goes on among a community that you think is kind and caring. Bullying happens everywhere. The other thing I would like to say is, with music seasons upon us and awards and everything going on, that there's so much rap and so much bad language. The creativity and the lyricism of your lyrics were absolutely astounding. And I think we need far more of that. Thank you all for a phenomenal performance.
That's the perfect one to end on. High School Detention, the musical. Don't forget to vote, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so very, very much. We'll see you out in the lobby and on the red carpet.